Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around Thailand for you today, this Tuesday, October 15th. Now, today, we will be talking about some stories from the Middle East that are affecting Thailand. A police bust of a massive sex toy smuggling ring, and a little later, we'll talk about the Borneo Sonic Music Festival that just rocked Kuching, Malaysia. But first, our first story is about a Thai activist who is demanding alcohol tests inquiries in the Tik Shiro crash case. That's right, Surrogacy from the Don't Drive Drunk Foundation has called for an investigation into the police chief at Pattaya police station after singer Tik Shiro was involved in a crash that left 2 dead and 1 injured. The police chief declined to administer an alcohol test, which Silimpang claims violates regulations that mandate blood alcohol testing in accidents involving fatalities. He stressed the importance of strict adherence to these rules to prevent offenders from evading charges. Well, that seems like a no-brainer to me. Unfortunately, this does seem like a case. Okay, the guy's involved. He was driving. 2 people died. If it was just an accident, tragic for sure. But what caused the accident? Is this guy going to be above the law because he's in a position of privilege? It seems like some corners were cut. So hopefully shedding a little bit of light on this will bring the truth out, and we can understand what kind of a situation we actually had. People died. That's you can't go back from that. And unfortunately, as is the case too many times in Thailand, we see people who have a little bit of clout, a little bit of money, being able to escape by. Of course, the famous Red Bull Air case where the man was able to just escape and live life on the lam abroad rather than facing the consequences of his actions. It seems like we might have something similar here if what this man is alleging is true. So why were there no alcohol tests administered, especially in such a serious, grievous accident? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Moving on, we are heading over to the Middle East. Now, there are still many, many Thai workers that are living and working in the Middle East, earning money to send back to Thailand. Unfortunately now, an Israeli worker was killed by leftover ammunition in an Israeli orchard. Now, Nissan Miram, a 42-year-old Thai worker, was killed by an explosion from leftover ammunition while working in an apple orchard in northern Israel on October 12th. The Thai Ministry of Labor is investigating why Thai workers were deployed in a closed military zone. Nissan's body will be repatriated for religious rites, and his family will receive all entitled benefits. Despite family concerns, Nissan had returned to Israel in June 2024 for financial reasons. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like the carrot that's being dangled is the high-paying jobs that are over there. Working in those field positions bring a lot of money that translates very well to Thailand when you're sending it back. However, the risks are there. You have to be dealing with an active war zone that's not too far away. Now, in this case, unfortunately, apparently he was sent into work in a place where they were not supposed to be working because of, incidents like this that are possible. So we have to see, this is the problem with exploitative employers, and we see it all over the world. They don't really care about the workers. They just want the cash to keep flowing. And unfortunately, the incentives are still high enough for Thai workers to be able to take on those risks. And here we have a tragic case of the worst thing happening. So hopefully the Thai government is able to represent this case and get to the bottom of it to make sure that nothing else happens for all of the Thai workers that are still choosing to take on the risk for the financial reward. Now, moving on, that's not the only story from the Middle East that is taking a toll on Thailand. So the conflicts over there have had a real impact on the Thai economy. Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, particularly the conflict between Israel and Hamas, have led to rising oil prices and shipping disruptions, posing a threat to the Thai economy. The energy ministry is preparing for potential impacts, including inflation and higher global interest rates. Thailand, as a major oil importer, faces challenges from increased crude oil prices, which have surged by almost 5% recently. Exporters are concerned about rising freight rates and potential shipping delays, while the tourism sector monitors the situation closely, though tourists remain largely unfazed. This is the problem with a country like Thailand that is an energy importer still at this point. when conflicts arise in these oil-rich areas, like talk about like Russia being a massive gas station for the world, Middle East conflicts, lots of those resources, not only are they disrupted, right? The supply chains are disrupted. A lot of the resources themselves are being used to fuel those conflicts, which generally means that the rest of us have to pay more at the gas pump. And Thailand is not omitted from that, unfortunately. So it's not only that, it's also the trade, right? Thailand has become a major exporter of, textiles, electronics, things like that. As the cost of oil goes up, the cost of shipping all of that stuff goes up, and so do the economic advantages that Thailand has in manufacturing those things. So again, seems like Thailand, they're obviously Switzerland of the East. They definitely like to maintain their neutrality. But at the same time, these conflicts are affecting them and hurting their bottom line. So I wonder if maybe they'll take a stronger stance diplomatically heading into the future as their bottom line continues to take a hit. We'll see. Now, moving on to our next story. All right, it's the Thaiger. We wouldn't have Thaiger news without some misbehaving farang. So here's our first one of the day. A British woman was detained in Ladprao Mall for alleged theft of skincare cream. Come on, aim bigger. No, wait, don't steal anything. That's what I meant. An 18-year-old British woman was detained at a Ladprao Mall after allegedly stealing a 700 baht skincare cream. Store employees claim she left without paying and could not provide a receipt when stopped. Despite denying the accusations, she was taken to the Paranoia police station for questioning. Authorities are investigating the incident further to determine the next steps. Tisk. Yeah, I know this isn't big news, but at the same time, this is a funny thing. Like in the West, petty theft is becoming more and more of a thing in our culture, right? A lot of people in America, maybe in England as well, they say, okay, the stores will not pursue you if you only steal X amount of dollars worth of stuff, right? So actually, like, petty crimes like that have gone up a lot. And, I'm not going to shed too many tears over, Walmart or anything like that. But over here in Thailand, that is not the case. So that little bit of petty theft is like, hey, don't do it. First of all, it's just kind of the wrong thing to do. At the same time, you're probably not going to get away with it over here. And it's going to ruin your day over what? Skin cream? 700 baht worth of skin cream? Like I said, if you're going to heist, go bigger, but don't heist at all. That's the main advice. But yeah, your thoughts, what kind of punishment is the public shaming enough? Let me know. Now we got some Thais behaving badly in our next story. Thai police have dismantled a multi-million baht sex toy smuggling ring. You heard that right. Thai police arrested 9 individuals in connection with a multi-million baht sex toy smuggling operation on October 10th. My mom's birthday. Hey. The suspects, both Thai and Laotian nationals, were managing private online groups selling illegal sex toys and stimulants. The operation generated significant monthly income, and the suspects faced charges for producing and distributing pornography, operating illegal websites, and working without permits. Well, I imagine if it's illegal, it's hard to get a permit for that. Anyways, but this shows the big old dilemma within Thai society, right? Sex is the thing in Thailand. Everybody knows it. There's places like Nana and Soy Cowboy, right, where there's plenty of sex selling, let's say, in terms of, the clubs and let's not mention sort of the gray markets of freelancers and things like that. But here's another one. Obviously, there's sex toys are illegal here. At the same time, are they? That's also kind of a thing. If you're walking along Sukhumvit Road, you can see some on display all the time. So, yeah, what is the deal here? Obviously, profiteering on an illegal trade. Sure, that's wrong, but should Thailand reconsider its positions on things like, it is reconsidering its position on sex work. What about sex toys? What about, pornography and OnlyFans? Those kinds of, those economies are big and massive, and people make a lot of money off of them. Should they be legal in Thailand? Very strange, the Thai moral code, I would say, for a lot of us foreigners who live here, because it's difficult to reconcile these things. At the same time, illegal operation, busted by police. Kudos, I guess. All right, now, okay, our last story for Thailand is another misbehaving farang. Well, I don't know if misbehaving or we should just feel bad. But let's get into it. Brings in a lot of different aspects of Thai society that I think are worth reviewing. Now, a Scottish tourist in Pattaya exhibits paranoia after mixing cannabis and medications. Now, a 55-year-old Scottish tourist, Tracy, exhibited erratic behavior in Pattaya Hotel after mixing cannabis with prescription medications. Hotel staff alerted police, who found cannabis and those pills in her room. Tracy's paranoia and agitation escalated, requiring police intervention. She was eventually taken to a medical facility for treatment. It remains unclear if charges will be filed. Yeah, I feel bad for her. That's unfortunate. But obviously, if you're on medications, mixing with things like cannabis can obviously exacerbate things like that you might already be feeling, right, in terms of paranoia. So obviously, you know, cannabis largely unharmful, not harmful at all. At the same time, it can exacerbate certain mental issues that people might be facing. So, yeah, be careful. If you're going to be using cannabis, make sure that your doctor who is prescribing you medication signs off on it and okays it. Because if not, this happens. Vacation ruined, day ruined, surely. Now, there was a funny joke about this one last night, I will say. A good friend of mine, Jabreen, comedian, said, what? Smoking cannabis, getting paranoid and freaking out? That's just my morning routine. Hey, anyways, the point is, yeah, be able to handle your stuff, guys. You don't want to be making a scene and making it into one of my headlines, everybody. All right. Anyways, moving on, guys. We're out of Thailand now. We're heading into the greater ASEAN region, where our first stop, we're heading over to Indonesia. Now, Indonesia asks Apple and Google to block the popular Chinese e-commerce platform Temu. Indonesia has requested that Apple and Google block the Chinese fast fashion e-commerce platform Temu to protect local small and medium-sized businesses. Although no transactions have been recorded yet, authorities view Temu's low-cost business model as harmful to local enterprises. Indonesia may also block any potential Temu investments in local e-commerce and is considering similar action against Shein. Shein? I don't know how to pronounce that one, but yes, this is a big issue. Chinese are able to enter with their massive e-commerce platforms and completely undercut the entire local industry. Therefore, you know, shutting down tons of business over there. Of course, this is one of those things where economies of scale is so important, right? As consumers, we always want the cheapest thing for whatever quality. I don't think we're really concerned about quality that much anymore when it comes to fashion, because so many people like to wear one outfit now, like one time, and then throw it away. So fast fashion is a big issue within the world, and I'm not entirely sure how we're going to get away from this trend, just because that's how we are as a society. We're consumers. We like to keep moving on to the next new thing. At the same time, local economies, it's not like Indonesia doesn't have a big textiles economy as well. So I'll be curious to see how this plays out, because if Indonesia is able to block it on those platforms over there, we've recently seen it open up shop here in Thailand. I'll be curious to see how other countries around the world react and respond to that platform coming in, because it does seem to be very popular. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Anybody order anything on Temu yet? Yeah, should it be allowed to operate in these other countries? Let me know. All right, so moving on to our next story. We are off to the Philippines. And Cambodia. Actually, we're in Cambodia with Filipinos. There it is. Philippine women arrested in Cambodia for surrogacy may face prosecution after giving birth. Weird one. 13 pregnant Philippine women accused of acting as illegal surrogates in Cambodia could face prison sentences after giving birth. The women were arrested in a villa raid in Kandal province in September. Cambodian authorities claim they were recruited by a Thailand-based business and assert that the women conspired to sell the babies. 7 other Philippine women and 4 Vietnamese women who were not pregnant will also be deported. What? This is a pretty weird one. Okay, so within any country, there are definitely laws and rules established for how surrogacies can be done. Yeah, illegal black market baby selling is not on my bingo card for 2024. I did not expect that one. But good to know that they've cracked down on this. But at the same time, Now what happens to those babies? I'm not sure who exactly were the buyers for this. Hopefully this wasn't some sort of human trafficking thing and instead was just parents wanting to be parents trying to find a cheaper option to get the babies. At the same time, there's a reason there's regulations involved for this. You don't want the pregnancies to be marred with anything wrong, and you don't want anything bad to happen to the babies after they are born. I'm still curious to know what will happen to these babies after they are born. So I'll try to keep an eye on this story for you guys and keep you updated because it's just such a weird one involving many different countries, right? Thailand-based organization, Philippine women, Vietnamese women, happening in Cambodia. Where were these babies destined to? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this. I will try to keep you updated for sure. All right, on to our next story. We have a political deal happening between Vietnam and China. Speaking of China, Vietnam and China have signed multiple deals in order to boost their economic cooperation. Temu coming to Vietnam too. During Chinese Premier Li Qiang's visit to Hanoi, Vietnam, Vietnam and China signed 10 agreements, including boosting agricultural trade and implementing cross-border QR code payments. WeChat, everybody. Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh urged China to open its markets to Vietnamese farm products and enhance border customs clearance. The agreements also covered progress on cross-border railway links and cooperation in modern railway development. So this is a big deal for all of China's neighbors. To be able to access the Chinese market is crucial, right? Like, it's so massive. At the same time, setting up the supply lines brings in a lot of money. But at the same time, then China has a lifeline on you politically. So a country like Vietnam that does have all sorts of diplomatic disputes, particularly over territory in the South China Sea, opens themselves up to the economic influence of China by creating these deals. So at the same time, brings in a ton of money, brings in a lot of development. So curious. It does seem like, though, this is China's game, right? Short-term economic benefits that they trade you, right? Oh, you get access to a market. You could sell a bunch of your stuff here. But then long-term, they have the upper hand. They have the ability to use and maybe cut off that flow in order to put political pressure in issues that they want to get an advantage in. So, tale as old as time. Caveat emptor Vietnam. This is standard game that everybody should know by now. On to our last story of the day, giving you an update on what I did over the weekend. Now, over in Kuching, Malaysia, they hosted the Borneo Sonic Music Festival 2024 over the weekend, drawing in massive crowds. I was one of them. The Borneo Sonic Music Festival 2024 was held on October 11th to the 12th at Sarawak Stadium. It was a massive success, drawing in over 30,000 attendees. The event featured an incredible lineup of international and regional stars, including K-pop icons Rain and Jessie, alongside popular artists like Judika and Dala, who are Malaysian artists. Attendees enjoyed a mix of K-pop, R&B, hip-hop, and EDM. Special permissions were granted by the local government, allowing the festival to run late into the night. Now, beyond music, the festival included a vibrant food carnival and glamping experiences, adding to the festive atmosphere. I was there. It was fun. There was tons of artists from all over Asia, right? So it wasn't Australia was represented, actually. Slumberjack, amazing DJs. That was probably my favorite set of the entire thing. But it is interesting. Malaysia has all sorts of rules and regulations when it comes to public performances, right? Can't be too sexy. Can't be too gay. Can't be too late. They actually made some exceptions to allow this festival to run a little later than usual. And massive artists like Rain, who are famous for taking it all off, couldn't quite take it all off. So interesting to see Malaysia, which is such an amalgam of cultures, right? You got everyone speaking Chinese, English, Malay. Indonesia is well represented there with the Muslim culture that is shared there. Tons, but it was fun seeing all of them getting together and having a great time with artists from all over Asia. Speaking on stage, there was so many languages spoke, including Thai. So anyways, I recommend you guys go to check it out next year when it happens. But I'll just say I had a lot of fun. All right, let me wrap up the show, guys. That'll do it for our news today. You can always go to thetiger.com for more news updates throughout the day. Also, the conversation doesn't end. Head over at ASEANnow.com for more updates about the greater region, and also to join in on the conversation to figure out what are the expats talking about here, what's going on with the culture here in Thailand. For us Farangs, there's always something new happening, so go and join the conversation, please. That'll do it for the show. Let me get into the comments to say goodbye to everybody.